Eddie is here to join me in this next segment. I saw a story on therap.com about famous musician conspiracy theories. One of the most recent ones that I've seen lately was the Joe Diffy, and he had that he didn't have coronavirus.
Oh, I've not heard of this.
So he died from coronavirus complications.
Yes.
And then everyone was like, no, he died of something else. And so it was weird because where do these conspiracies even come from?
Mm-hmm.
So Joe Diffy, who I really liked as a person too, died in Nashville March 29th after he tested positive for coronavirus. He was 61. In the days following his death, Facebook and Twitter, posing as internet sleuths, said that he had either lung cancer or that he had a lot of other things I don't even want to get into because it's not true.
Yeah.
So his widow comes out and says no. And as a matter of fact, I knew a nurse that worked with him before he passed away. But know her well. And I knew he was in the hospital from it. And so I would see this and I would go, man, they're just making this up. So what other crap are people just making up?
Lots.
Because I do start, after a while, the occasional conspiracy theory gets me and I go, because every conspiracy theory can't be wrong.
Right.
I think most are. Most are supposed to be wrong. But every one of them can't be wrong.
And you got to understand, even just as tragic as some of these are, people have a fun, good time making these things up. Like they just love making up conspiracy theories.
And seeing if they catch fire.
Yeah.
And watch it burn, if so. You can talk about the Elvis one, that Elvis isn't dead.
Oh, yeah.
That's been one for a long time.
Sure. And I mean, I kind of believe it sometimes. It's one of those where, like, I can't prove it's not right, you know, because they sometimes do have pictures of Elvis, you know, in another country.
Not Elvis. That's not Elvis,
someone that
though.
looks like Elvis. There's also the theory of that his gravestone is misspelled.
His middle name, Aaron, yeah.
Aaron has only one A, not two, or something like that. So, I mean, that also covers them with a theory of, that's not really him. We tricked you. It's the wrong Aaron.
There was also, because the coroner diagnosed him of cardiac arrhythmia, which cannot be determined in a dead body.
Interesting.
Did you know that part?
I did not know that part.
And they say there are rumors he was sweating in his casket, proof that the figure was made out of wax. And then there's the curious fact that the autopsy... And then there was the curious fact that his autopsy was placed under a 50-year seal. Meaning the seal. So
no one can investigate it.
But again, if it's somebody super famous, you want to put a seal.
Yes.
And I think with each of these, we'll say, do we believe it? Okay?
Okay.
By the way, Joe Diffy, do you believe the conspiracy theory that it was something other than coronavirus?
No.
I don't either, because I have firsthand knowledge.
Good.
Elvis isn't dead. What do you think?
I believe that there's a chance that he's not dead.
They suggest that he had become fed up with fame, and was in bad health, so he faked his own death in order to get back to a simpler way of life.
Okay, I have another theory to that.
Okay.
So I watched it. It wasn't a documentary. It was some kind of it was a movie where it had true footage of him during his Vegas rehearsals. And it's a whole movie on it, you know, and he hangs out with these mafia guys, the Memphis Mafia, real mafia dudes. And there's footage of him, and they kind of treat him like crap. like they're all there. The dude's trying to work. Elvis is on stage doing a sound check, and these guys are just drinking in the ballroom like, hey, sing this song, just heckling him. And he's like, oh, okay, guys, all right, enough. I'm trying to work here. And to me, I'm thinking, man, these guys really had him. Like, they had a good control of Elvis. It just seemed like it. So to me, my theory is that he was too in with that mob. He was tired of the fame. He's like, I need to disappear.
Well, there is a theory that he was forced to go into witness protection.
Boom.
A man bought a plane ticket to Buenos Aires under the name John Burroughs, an alias that Elvis Presley used for hotel reservations.
Wow.
Now, here's the thing. If you were going to do that, would you use the same name, though, that you people knew you had used under hotels?
But they probably found that out later. Like what, you know, you probably have a name you use under hotels. Yeah, Bobby Bones. Like, you know, you maybe, you know, so you think you're safe with that name. And then later these two managers or assistant managers that you worked with are like, no, that was his name.
Okay. Do you believe the Elvis Presley conspiracy theory? Do you believe it that he's not dead?
I believe there's a chance that he's not dead.
Or he wasn't dead then and maybe just died now?
Oh, no, I still think he's alive.
But he'd be like 80-something, right?
Nah.
And someone with that bad of health, you think they're going to live in their 80s?
Bones, he was a little chubby.
No, he got to be pretty fat later on. Mike, how old's Elvis? What do you be?
He would have been 85.
85. How old's Willie? Him and Willie would be chilling right now. Absolutely.
Elvis is dead.
Wow. No, man. He's living, where'd you say, Buenos Aires?
You really think he's
Argentina?
alive?
I believe
I'm not for a bit.
I'm not joking. I believe there's a chance that he could be in South America.
Next
Absolutely.
up, Hank Williams haunts the Opry. Some visitors believe that Hank Williams still haunts the Grand Ole Opry despite being banned months before his death. Others swear a mysterious man in a gray outfit watches rehearsals from a balcony, only to vanish before showtime. A creepier story has Civil War soldiers haunting the Ernest Tubb record shop. But we'll stay on the Hank and the Opry.
Okay, Mr. Opry.
Well, I work there. I'm there every week.
Yeah,
I've
you are.
performed there 15 times probably.
Are they talking about the new Opry House or
It's the
Ryman?
Grand Ole Opry.
Just wherever
right?
the
I would
Grand Ole
assume
Opry
the
is.
show. I've been at them both. Never seen a figure up in the stands.
Never?
Never even heard anyone there that works talk about it.
Have you looked for him?
No, but I don't believe this. I'm not a big believer that ghosts are haunting, and if they are, we can't see them anyway, right? I'm not a believer that some ghost that looks like their human shell is bouncing around up there. So no, I don't believe that one. You?
See, I don't believe it, but see, I have to start thinking too, man, that like when I die, I do want to be part of certain things that I loved down here on earth. And if he loved the Opry and he loved country music and he wanted to be there in his little gray suit, sounds like something we'd want to do, huh?
You could do any Opry show you wanted if there's an afterlife.
Yeah, you could. Probably make up your own.
Yeah, the greatest lineup ever.
No, I'm not going to believe that one.
Did Paul McCartney die in 1966? Now, we talked about Elvis.
Yes.
There's a conspiracy theory, too, about Paul McCartney from the Beatles. Did he die? Yes or no?
No.
You don't think so, too, huh?
He did not die. He's not dead. Paul still continues to make music, and I don't think anyone can replicate that.
Well, so in 66 was the first time that he was rumored to die. But then he's died a couple of times since.
Oh, he's died more times.
Yeah. A British radio DJ talked about how the Beatle had been killed in a car crash and had been replaced by a lookalike because it was worth so much money. Among the bits of evidence, on the cover of Abbey Road, he's not wearing shoes, like a corpse.
Correct.
Although they were pretty hippie, they don't have to wear shoes.
Right.
The rest of them are, but who cares? The VW Beetle license plate in the background says 28IF because Paul would have been 28 if he were still alive.
That's awesome.
And if you play the end of I'm So Tired backwards, John says Paul is dead, man. Miss him, miss him, miss him.
Yes.
And here it is.
Paul is dead, no? Miss him?
Paul
Miss him?
is dead, man.
Nah, man.
Listen again. Okay, that's just them finding a clip where they could. I mean, if you try, to hear it, it's like green wig or pee-pee or whatever those two sounds are that you hear.
Laurel.
Green needle.
Yeah, Laurel and Green Needle. Whatever you're trying to hear, you hear.
Bones, and also too, if we tried to, like right now, Bones, we want to make this up. There's no way that we can find the words to say, like, all right, I want you to say this, but we're backwards. It's gonna say Eddie is an idiot.
Okay, if I were to do Eddie is an idiot,
Yeah.
I would go. Well, first of all, Idi Sai Na
Yeah.
Tinia.
Yeah.
And I got to put that in a song. Nadi Sai Na Tinia.
And then years from now, they're
And
like,
then they
guys,
go
the proof is right
They
there.
were like, then Yadi Sa Na Tinia, the song needs to be played backward. Eddie is an idiot. Paul McCartney's alive.
Of course he is. Have you met him?
No.
I've seen him.
Have I ever talked to him? Have I ever done an interview on the phone? I don't think I have.
Oh, dude, that'd be amazing.
Hey, I think it would be cool. I've heard a bunch of great interviews with him.
Yeah.
Howard Stern's done a bunch. I don't know that I would ask him anything that other folks haven't,
Oh, I mean, I'm sure everyone's asked him.
but I
everything.
wouldn't go deep on the Beatles. Like I would
What
want
would you talk about? His favorite
if
restaurant?
he ever goes to the drive-thru.
Oh, yeah.
Or when he gets away, like where does he know he can go? Or is it like, can he go into the busier city the better? Because there's just, if you're walking on the streets of New York City, there's so many people, nobody looks like anybody.
Yeah.
Like is it the opposite of what you would think? Where you think you go somewhere where there's not a lot of folks, but then everybody sticks out to you. But if you go somewhere where it's just packed with people, nobody is anybody.
I wonder if he ever thought that when he got older, people would just forget about him and not remember him. Because that's not the case. He's still very, very famous.
Mama Cass choked on a sandwich.
Yes.
You know the band she's from?
Yes, Mamas and the Papas.
All the leaves are brown.
All the leaves are brown.
And the sky is gray.
And the sky is gray. Well, that's a better version.
A false pre-autopsy comment provided to the news media included the New York Times, and they spread the rumor that Cass Elliot died after choking on a ham sandwich. She was actually stricken by heart failure at age 32.
See, that sucks, man.
Because I know her as dying from the ham sandwich.
Me too. I heard that when I was a kid.
And you know why
and I
they
ran
say
with
that?
it.
Because she's overweight.
Yes, and
it
that's
was
rude.
mean to do.
Yeah, and I believed it.
And I did too. And I don't as of right now.
Yeah, exactly. I learned right now that's not true.
I was this many years old when I learned that Mama Cass did not choke on a sandwich.
And it's not fair.
It isn't. That sucks. Yeah, that sucks. What about the Michael Jackson and LaToya Jackson are the same person rumors?
I love it.
You don't ever think.
I never thought that. I never heard of
either.
that, but I love that.
Yeah.
Because they do kind of look the same.
Yeah.
Alike.
Because he started to look more feminine
Correct.
with surgery and.
And she almost looked a little masculine.
The additional Avril Lavigne's is interesting because I've seen this one a lot.
Remind me.
So after her album Let Go, which had this song here, Skater Boy, on it, they say she was replaced by someone named Melissa Vandella, who is slightly taller than the original Avril, dead giveaway. And fake Avril started talking about it, and the songs get a little different. Apparently she died, right? And it was the same thing where they were losing money on her. And I read a lot about this, and I went deep in a rabbit hole on this one day. And I started to go, you know what? I don't believe it, but there's a possibility.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of money to be made and a lot of money to continue making. And let's say her family was like, well, you know, we're sad she's dead, but we'd like to keep making money in her honor and other songs. And this other Melissa, but then I met Avril Lavigne.
Oh.
Because she played Dancing with the Stars, one of the episodes when I was there.
Okay, you met her currently. Not before death.
Right. And I went up to her and I walked by as a joke and I said, Melissa.
Ah, you did not. You're lying to me right now.
I did. And I didn't look at her face. I just said it out loud. Melissa. She never even turned and looked.
Because if she would have.
If she would have, I'd come on the air and be like, it's true.
That would have been crazy.
I'm breaking the story.
She goes, what? What did you just say?
Wait, what? Me? Oh, no, sorry.
That's hilarious.
And then I went up, made a loop around because she was sitting backstage at a makeup place, made a loop around, and went up and introduced myself. She was really nice.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot of contact, but I sure walked by, didn't look at her, I said, Melissa. And nothing.
Well, that's it. You can't argue with that.
Yeah. Her when Skater Boy came out, I was like, this is the greatest song. This is the deepest song I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like, there are a few of those in my life. Don't Take the Girl. When I was like a kid, I was like, oh my God, this is the deepest song I've ever heard.
That's not the one that I really liked from her. What was the one?
Well, it wasn't my favorite. My favorite Avril Lavigne song is a slow one.
Which one?
It wasn't Complicated. That was the first one.
Complicated.
That
I
was
like
the
that
first one.
one.
That was a big snatch.
So good.
Yeah, I don't remember. Lorde is lying about her age. There's a conspiracy theory that Lorde is actually much older.
Gosh, she does act old.
Apparently, she's 35 years old.
But that's not surprising. Like, that could be real, right? Like, I don't know if it is or not, but don't
You believe it?
Artists, I could believe it because don't a lot of artists do that?
They maybe flub it by a little bit. There was the one Australian actress, the comedian, who did that.
She went lower.
Rebel Wilson?
Rebel Wilson lied about her age for a while.
She was older than she said she was. Yeah. I just believe stuff like that, like because it's entertainment.
But
none
here's
of it
the
has to
problem.
be factual.
She was like 16 when she launched.
Correct.
If you were 24 and you were claiming to be 21, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Not 16, 35.
There are some 35-year-olds that can pass as really young people.
Thank you.
Not you.
Stevie Wonder isn't blind.
Oh gosh, that would be terrible.
That he's been pretending as a publicity stunt. What do you think about that?
I feel like I would lose trust in people in general if that was true.
Yeah, I don't believe that one either.
No.
Phil Collins, Let a Man Drown. Because of In the Air Tonight. That's supposedly what that
That's
song's
right.
about.
We've talked about this before.
A principal hypothesis involves Phil Collins' inability to save a drowning man, based on a key line from the song. In one version, a friend falls out of a boat. In another, Collins witnesses the tragedy from far away and cannot come from the swimmer's aid. In many of these theories, there was someone closer to the horrific events, but he refuses to help. Anyway, they're like, he must have. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
Jay-Z is a time traveler or a vampire.
Nah.
That sounds like something someone wrote.
It's just dumb.
Doing stupid fiction.
Like,
make it a little more believable if you're going to lie to us.
Please, that's not worth our time.
Watch it. That's the one that's real.
It comes out
We
later.
sit here and this gets played back like 10 years from now once we find out Jay-Z actually was that. Taylor Swift is an agent of the Illuminati. I listened to a whole podcast and read a whole thing about the Illuminati. I don't believe it because in theory, it's real, but it's not.
What do you mean by that?
There's not really a group called the Illuminati.
They're called something else?
It's who they consider to be these people that have all this power are these different groups that literally have a lot of power. But the Illuminati, people aren't wearing robes and going into a cave and having sex with a donkey. Mm-hmm. That's just me on Saturdays.
That sounds familiar.
I am fascinated with the Illuminati. People have said that I'm in the Illuminati.
Yes, I've heard that from multiple people.
They're like, are you? And if I was, I would be doing this whole bit exactly like I'm doing now.
Yes, so we can't say that it's not true.
Right. So I was fascinated with it, so I decided to research it.
And what did you find?
It started off as a small thing that broke off from the Freemasons. They would go to the Freemasons
Secret
meetings,
society.
And then the Freemasons, but they weren't like secret and dark. They just were groups that met.
But no one knew. I guess what made them secret is that no one knew who was part of it. That was it.
Sometimes they did, but you didn't know what they were talking about.
Okay.
But we're talking about 1700s. And the Illuminati was a small group, and they ended up dying out as well.
Oh, they don't exist anymore.
Well, no, they may now in some, but the Illuminati that we know, they kind of fizzled out. The guy who created it wasn't that good at creating a secret society that would last and flourish.
Because you think about the idea of it, that's phenomenal.
Love it. I've thought about doing it here in Nashville.
I mean,
honest to God, with like a few different people in big area,
influential people,
and we just quietly
dominate,
move the strings, pull the strings on everything, and don't tell anybody about it.
Very possible.
I'm still up for it, guys.
They're listening.
Who would I put in the secret society? I would put in
Nashville.
Yeah. First of all, you want to get an artist that people would never believe would be in it, but could also control some stuff.
Luke Bryan.
I feel like he may tell people.
He just drunk one night. Hey, can I tell
Charles Kelly, come here.
Hey, guys, seriously, between you and me.
Here's a picture of us at our meeting. We are having sex with a donkey, see?
Oh, wait, that's secret.
Like Keith.
Keith Urban?
Keith Urban.
Oh, gosh, he's so connected.
Keith Urban, who's connected in lots of ways.
In the actor world, too.
Like Scott Borchetta, the guy that... me... Brian O'Connell, who is at Live Nation, but is a big
promoter.
Yeah. Maybe who in the publishing did somebody in the publishing world, and then somebody in the management world.
What about an athlete?
What's he going to do about the music, the Nashville music community?
Oh, you just wanted in music, not just the world?
The community. Yeah, okay. No. Just here, we pull the strings.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't. None of the Titans would. Why, you're really thinking about this? Hey,
no. I've spent a lot of time thinking about this. This is not something that comes to me now.
Hey, you know what you should do? You should do a secret recording with you and Keith saying, Keith, this is what I want to do, and I want to hear his reaction. Hey, and if he says yes, we don't even play it. Never. But if he doesn't, and he laughs at you.
So if you never hear it.
Yeah, maybe he's in.
You know what to do.
But if he says no and he laughs in your face, I want to hear it.
No.
No? Okay, you probably lose his trust forever.
The CIA killed Bob Marley?
I could see that, yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. Bob Marley, he was shot at, people attempted to kill him, I think, a couple times. One of them's pretty famous. He just got very political.
Do you know how he died?
Cancer.
No, a toe injury from a soccer match
that
revealed a lesion under his nail. Then he diagnosed with, malignant melanoma. He refused to have the toe amputated, and then it spread through his body. So,
Yes, but he did get shot at, and they tried to kill him. But I think at that point, he was just getting too political. He was trying to, at that time, Jamaica was just split very, very dramatically between two parties, and he was trying to get in the middle of it, and they wanted him dead.
Conspiracy theorists say that the CIA set up their sights on Marley, whose growing influence and message of peace went contrary to its goals. The son of former CIA Director William Colby reportedly gave Marley a pair of boots adapted with poison-coated copper wire near the toe.
Wow.
Some believe Marley tried on the boots and inadvertently sealed his demise.
Wow.
Others believe the CIA had already tried to take Marley out with sharpshooters who missed their target. Marley had, in fact, survived a 1976 assassination attempt by 3 gunmen at his home in Jamaica.
There you go. You believe? I don't know about the boot. The boot sounds weird.
That one I could almost think about leaning into a little bit.
Do you want to do some research?
No, I'm talking about just believing it. I'm done.
right
I'm going to check out. After this, I'm not thinking about it again. But it's when things get political, people do crazy things that we never think would happen.
Yeah.
Hotel California was about devil worship. I don't think so.
I know what it's about. Have you ever dissected that song?
I've read books.
Wait, we were in a van. We were touring, and we all had the big discussion. You might have been in headphones and tuned out, but we talked about it. It's a whorehouse.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, and I've read books from the guy who wrote it or was one of the writers, and
yeah,
I don't think it's about
Don
devil
Felder.
worship. Yeah.
Yeah, not devil worshiping.
Couple more here. Dave Grohl never broke his leg. Remember in the Foo Fighters concert?
Yes.
A quickly spreading rumor charged him with faking his injury. That's a dumb one.
But Dave's kind of dramatic, though. Like, wouldn't you see him doing something like this just to kind of be like, this is good, this could be funny?
He is dramatic, but I don't think so. Not breaking a leg. You can do something better than that.
Yeah, I agree. You can do better than that.
Finally, Jack and Meg White are actually brother and sister.
They do look alike.
They were married. One of the band's early gimmicks was that they portrayed themselves as innocent musical siblings. The truth was that Mr. Jack Gillis married Miss Meg White September 1996 and ended up taking her name to become the world-famous Jack White. They divorced in 2000, by which time the truth came out. So those are your musical...
You believe that?
Oh, yeah. I don't believe they were brother and sister.
Oh, okay, so they're not brother and sister.
No.
Okay.
He rocked SNL this past weekend. Did you watch a clip of it?
I didn't see it.
Morgan Wallen was supposed to do it.
Yes.
And then he did it. Did you see it, Mike?
I did watch it.
Killed that, huh?
Yeah. Like a 2-day notice.
Jack White's a rock star, man.
I saw the White Stripes live one time, and it was pretty amazing what they did. They were really 2 people on stage, and it sounded like a full band.
Oh, you saw the literal White Stripes.
Stripes.
With just those
Meg
2?
and Jack, yeah.
Just her on drums and him playing guitar and singing.
Unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. 2 people.
Wow. I've seen him play in other bands.
Racking Tours, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Racking Tours in Austin at like ACL Live. And he hasn't hit another band, too, that he was in for a while.
Can't think of it right
But I think he's been in like 8 bands. He was in the Raging Idiots for a while.
Yeah, he was.
He's been in everything.
He was our xylophone player.
Yeah. All right. That's it. Eddie, you have a podcast called The Sore Losers?
The Sore Losers, there's big drama right now, too. I mean, I might be getting out of our fantasy team.
What was that about? I saw the tweet. What happened?
Well, we have a fantasy league with a bunch of listeners that we've done, and they're one of the people in the league. They took a bunch of defenses, added them to their team, and then dropped them before the game started so that no one could have defenses. Because of Corona, there are a bunch of games being postponed and things like that you really last minute are like, oh my gosh, my team's not playing, I need a defense. This guy locked everyone. So there were 2 people that had no defenses playing because of that.
My ruling?
I was one of them.
My ruling?
Yeah.
He was brilliant. I would have done the same thing. It's not against the rules, and he's actually hurting himself by not picking up other players and holding on to them. That's a strategic. If you would have been able to think about it and do it, you would have done it too.
My part of this, though, is my thought is that that's not the league you want to be part of.
Sure
you don't want to be part of a league.
You just got outsmarted and now your butt hurt. Because I would have done the same thing.
I am very butthurt.
You learn from it and do it next time.
So now I think everyone is going to start doing that every week. Start locking players.
Great, but then they're not going to be able to hold other players on their...
If it were a normal year, Bones, and there weren't games just being postponed,
but
not
you have
a
the
big deal.
same opportunity to be strategic and do things too.
I know. And
it's not like they have options that you don't.
I fear that everyone's going to start doing that
but
now.
That's
and
okay.
now the whole league's going to be pissed.
And they're not going to pick up players on the waiver wire that have chances to blow up for them.
I really thought you'd be on my side on this.
No. I think I'm on the side of the smart person who went by the rules.
Oh, gosh.
If you quit because of this, you are a loser and you're just a baby. You just didn't think about it.
I'm a sore loser is what I am.
Yeah. All right, so check out the Sore Losers podcast. All right, thank you. Hey guys, it's Bobby Bones. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and then go check it out. A lot of artists, a lot of songwriters, a lot of music. Welcome to the Bobbycast channel.